Yay! All right. It says we're streaming right on the nose. We are live. Yay! I see those participants rising. Good morning, everyone. How are you? My name is Emily Yanez, formerly Flores, if you're confused. Top of the morning. We are super, super excited to be here with you. Day 3 of Unstoppable. I know we say this every time, but for real, how good has it been? I'm so excited to be here on day 3. Day 1, slayed. Day 2, yesterday, on fire. We are going to try to carry that vibe into today. Super excited. Yesterday, we covered such important topics. I don't care if you've been a coach since yesterday or you're like me and you've been around 7 years or so. Those topics, I think here's the mindset I really encourage. If you feel like, I got that, that's not an issue for me, cool. But can you teach it? Can you teach it to someone else? And when I started seeing the bigger picture, I got even more excited to be on trainings because it doesn't matter if you've got things down pat, it doesn't mean you can teach it. So it's a whole nother thing. So yesterday, Annika did such a great job of covering skills, mindset, and action as a mentor coach, that when someone is struggling, that's exactly what you can examine. Do they have the skills? How's the mindset? Are they actually in action? So those are things that are important no matter what. We had Justin come on and talk about just stop overthinking. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it and just go. We had the Lavalleys come on and talk about grit and sacrifice. Fun story. I was listening to it and my son walked by and went, Mama, why is that man yelling? And I said, he's inspiring us, son. He's not yelling at us. So thank you so much to Nick and Kirsten. I thought that you guys did amazing too. So yesterday was really great. Today, we're going to hear from 2 amazing speakers. And we're also going to get into social media, which Michelle and I cover a lot. We always try to mix it up and switch it up and bring you like the latest and greatest in social media because it's always changing and we don't want to just keep spitting the same information at you. And so we always try to really bring the fire and switch it up. So I'm really excited to delve into one of my favorite topics in a little bit. But first up, I want to bring up Cheryl Wiley. She is going to talk to us just about, how do we do this? How do we, what are the key things? How do we do this? How do we get going? So Shara, could you share with us, darling?
Good morning. How is everybody? Happy Friday. So we were just chatting about how this time last week we were in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I chose to take my 12-year-old son. It was freaking amazing, amazing, amazing. If y'all qualify for an event, make sure you show up. It was absolutely incredible. My son was able to witness firsthand the coaches I work alongside and really experience what's possible, what I've been working for, why I'm up here in the office doing what I'm doing, all a result of Optavia. So this company keeps blessing me over and over. And let this be a testament to what Megan Valentine says. We can chase our kids and our dreams, mamas and daddies out there. It's possible. So today I want to share with you a story and then leave you with a few pointers as it relates to social media that really allowed me to grow. The past, I started this about 2 years ago, and trust me when I say it was a slow roll. It took me about a year to get to executive director, but last year I experienced a complete breakthrough that carried me through, and my business just exploded. So I want to kick things off with an old Cherokee Indian legend that really illustrates the most important battle of our lives that each one of us are always battling right here between our 2 ears. So there's an old Cherokee, and he's teaching his grandson about life. A fight is going on inside me, he said to the boy. It is a terrible fight. It's between 2 wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. He continued, the other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside of you and every other person too. The grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his grandfather, "Which wolf wins?" The old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed." Which wolf are you feeding, guys? Jamil calls his Stanley. I call mine Sharda, because Sharda is a nasty, toxic. She's my, other toxic, self-soothing self. Think about what thoughts you're dealing with on a daily basis. What negative thoughts are taking over your mind? Next time that head trash sets in, ask yourself, is this thought serving me? What's it doing for me? So those are the exact thoughts that took me down 2 years ago. I started coaching a little over 6 years ago, and I hit executive director and I quit. Because I truly believe the farthest distance we travel in this business is the one from our head to our heart. When we're heavy up here in the head, but light in the heart, we're imbalanced. Just like when we're all transactional and not transformational, we're imbalanced. This is where the structural tension takes place, my friends. What you can do instead, get into action. Here's the truth. Your head trash is only there to distract you from doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? It paralyzes you. It keeps you from getting uncomfortable, connecting with others, being brave, getting vulnerable, sharing your story. That head trash is dimming your light. You got to let that, shine. Let that bright light shine. So I want to wrap up with a few suggestions, because coaches are always telling me, I want specifics. Tell me tips. What did you do? So during the health assessment, I always mention to my clients, I'm a guide, I'm a support system, but I can also be somewhat of a velvet hammer, calling people out on their, on what their why is, and reminding them of this is going to be a little bit challenging. You gotta hang on to that why. So I also needed to call out some things on myself. Habits I needed to break in order to level up to the next stage of my business. So it took me nearly a year of messing around with those bad habits before I broke the vicious cycle and really my business took off. So 1, not doing the action items, getting on these trainings, taking notes, getting all pumped up, and then not doing anything with it. It's not getting you anywhere. Get into action, commit to the action items, commit to those goals that you posted, and show up for yourself and your business every single day. 2, posting and ghosting. Posting those before and afters, those recipes, those big power posts, and then doing nothing with it. Content without connection is like welcoming somebody into your home through your front door and then immediately escorting them out your back door. Invite them in, hang out with them for a while, engage. It's like putting your porch light on during Halloween for your trick-or-treaters, but then never giving them candy. Work your post. 3, not adding new friends every single day. So I had the pleasure of hanging out with a couple of hot tickets in Cabo, Becky Flamong, Karen Elstrom, another reason why I love these events. So I love that they refer to our Facebook as an auditorium, okay, with 5,000 seats. We have 5,000 opportunities, 5,000 seats that we can fill in our virtual auditorium. Each friend requests a ticket into our auditorium where we can share our story about our story and Dr. A's incredible mission. So don't fill those seats with coaches. We follow coaches. They need to fill their own auditorium. Limit your engagement with other coaches' feeds too, because there is an algorithm. We want to be opening up our feed and the opportunity to really connect with the people who need this the most. And lastly, stop mindlessly scrolling. What is scrolling? Where you're just letting your feed dictate what you want to do. I don't even know what my own husband is posting, to be honest, because I'm too busy working my own posts. I will not post again if I haven't worked the existing posts that are blowing up. That's the one thing I commit to every single day. I look for the people who haven't liked or commented in a while, and I invite them into my home. We sit down, we have a conversation. Scrolling can be a double-edged sword. You're not actively showing up for your business, and you're not actively showing up for your family. So either pick up your phone, get to work connecting with someone, who need you, or put it down and connect with your family. Sorry, I went a little over. Love you guys. That's all I got.
Yay, thank you so much. That was awesome. I've always loved that story about what are we feeding, because energy flows where you send it. And if you are pouring all of your energy into what's not working, what's difficult, what you're scared of, and not that it's bad to identify any of those things, but if that's what your focus is constantly on, all we're bringing into our life is fear and scarcity. And so it's super important to feed the right wolf and not the one that's going to kind of bring you down. And I think also, talking about trainings, are you getting into action, or do you just get on trainings to kind of get that dopamine hit of like, yay, and then that's it? Because I know I used to do that, and I used to wonder why these boot camps weren't working for me. I wasn't showing up in the way I needed to show up. I was on them, but I certainly wasn't doing the action. So thank you so much for that. And next up, we are going to hear from Ashley Barnes, and she is going to talk to us some more about what's possible. Ashley.
Awesome. Thank you. Um, Man, I was thinking a little bit about what's possible after getting back from Cabo as well this week. And I had an opportunity to listen to Jamil a bit during our school by the pool day, which was so fun. We got to kind of just listen to some leadership and ask them questions out by the pool one of our last days. And I really got to thinking about kind of the financial breakthrough of what was possible for me and my husband in this business. My husband is definitely more of a supportive role, helps with our kiddo and helps with scheduling and things like that. But I really got to thinking about some of the things Jamil was speaking to in terms of just financial strength and being wise with what we're given and all of that. So I wanted to kind of just speak to that, because I think my story will resonate a bit with some of you in just terms of we were broke, like financially broke when we really got into coaching in this program. So back in February of 2019 was when we got into the business side of things. At that stage, this was the third job for me. I was working 2 full-time jobs. Stay-at-home mom because I was working from home for most of that. But I mean, busy people, we're involved in our church. We have a great friend base. We often hang out with our family. I mean, list goes on and on. We were those busy people that filled our time with lots of things. But we were so terrible with what we were given financially. We were in debt. We were borrowing money because we were just scraping by. We were constantly seeing all these, overdraft fees and, trying to just like rob Peter to pay Paul in terms of like paying a bill. It was like, oh my gosh, we'd be checking our bank account like several times a day and, just dollars short of what we needed to pay something, and just like so stressed out all the time, wound tight about it all. We just had this scarcity mindset is really, when I look back now, we hear that a lot in these trainings, right? When you just, you're constantly having this scarcity mindset of not enough, and oh my gosh, that client canceled, and now how am I going to get to ED this month if that client canceled? Just constantly like worried about those little things, those premier cancellations, or not getting a client over a couple weeks, and not really just forging forward. So I found this quote because I really love Dave Ramsey, and I wanted to read it because I just thought it was so funny / true. We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. That was my life. Like we were constantly like spending, but we didn't have anything to show for it. So anyway, we got to this point where we just said, we're going to swallow our pride. We actually filed for bankruptcy. It was a huge pride shot, but we made a commitment that we were going to do better. This all happened as we were immersed in this coaching business and hearing from leadership and realizing like, wow, this is that path that we can take. So I've got to take a hard look at myself. We've got to take a hard look at our business, our finances, And we need to shift. We need to start focusing differently. We need to stop with that scarcity mindset and start with an abundance mindset from here on forward. So what I really took away from, our first year coaching, uh, was that if we weren't faithful with like what we had, then we weren't going to be given more. Jamil talked a little bit about that at School by the Pool too, and it was just it's super resonates with me because as a woman of faith myself, it it was just like an aha moment, like that light bulb. If I can't do well with what I've been given, then how am I going to get blessed with more? How am I going to be trusted with more people, more business partners, um, more money? If I'm not doing well with it, so worry about the things that last, not these temporary fixes, not those temporary, trips or things or kind of status opportunities when you spend money. Let's worry about the things that last, like helping others, making an impact, love. That's really when things got different for us, when we started focusing on the right things and putting that energy into that abundance mindset. I mean, our financial discipline followed that because we started actually being wise with what we were given. And now we've just been blessed above and beyond. I mean, we're buying a house. We were able to move across the country. We are able to do this full time without all those other jobs, and it's just been amazing. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but I hope that encourages some of you to just really focus on the people, and that income and the blessings will absolutely follow.
Yay. Thank you so much, Ashley. That was so good. I think it's so, so important in general, just having that abundant mindset and really focusing on why are we trying to impress everyone on the outside? Like you said, that they don't even matter. It's people that maybe don't even like us. And those are the people we're trying to impress. So I think you are a wonderful testament to what is possible, not only with coaching and the income, but what happens when you get your mind right. And I think that part's super important too. So thank you so much for bringing us such value this morning. And now Michelle and I are going to transition into talking about social media. And the first thing that I want to talk about is something called personal branding. And I think we've all kind of heard about branding a little bit. And I really think it scares a lot of people. It kind of scared me. It sounded like I better get a professional photographer and like come up with a color scheme. Like that's what I thought branding was about. And so what I want to do today is really sort of demystify what branding is and show you that most of you are probably already branding yourself and may not even know. But once you sort of identify how to brand yourself, posting and everything else that sometimes feels tough becomes so much easier. And so when it comes to personal branding, like I said, it doesn't mean a color scheme or that it's all aesthetics. Sometimes aesthetics do play into it, but it's definitely more of how you show up on social media and what type of person you want to be known to be on social media. So, when someone sees your name or they go to your page, you want them to know what they can expect. And so a couple things that we should ask ourselves is, number one, what do we want to be known for? So I know that people struggle with trying to brand themselves as an Optavia health coach. And I'm not advising that you don't brand yourself as a coach. It's important that you do, but it's just as important that you think about promoting not just what you do as a health coach, but I want you to realize that you're also just promoting you as a human being. And so another question to ask yourself is, who are you outside of health coaching? Meaning, what are your interests? What are your hobbies? What do your closest friends know are your strengths? So if this is something that you struggle with, it might take time to kind of explore who you are and what you enjoy outside of this, because it's so, so important for us to kind of figure that out. We want to show people that we are someone that they know, like, and trust. And we talk about the know, like, trust factor a lot, and it's for a reason. It's because it's super important, because while we want them to know, like, and trust us, we also want them to know that we offer an amazing program, an amazing service. So just remember that they're coming to you first, and then they're deciding if Optavia is a fit for them. So it's asking yourself what you want to be known for. And that this is sort of the test. This is kind of the gold standard. So you should all be able to go to your page and point out 5 things that you're passionate about outside of Optavia. Some people absorb so much of Optavia that they become only health and wellness, but we don't want to be that all the time. Your brand should also be rooted in authenticity. And if not, people can feel it. They'll go to your page and they can feel that something feels off. Maybe you're copying and pasting a lot of other people's posts, or maybe you're just putting up before and afters and they know nothing about who you are as a human. All they know is that they think maybe you're selling something. And so when it comes to creating your personal brand, everyone can create your brand. Like I said, a lot of you are probably already doing this, but maybe you're thinking like, Emily, why does this matter? Like, why is it even important? Why do I need to get good at this? So first of all, again, people are attracted to you. And right now, when I talk about personal brand, I'm talking about people being attracted to you and your story. So in general, in life, people relate to people because of their stories. So they are coming to your page and asking, what's in it for me? And if say you're experiencing a ton of new energy because of fat burn and you're sharing a story about being in fat burn or just feeling really good, people are completely going to relate to your story, your energy, your smile, your excitement, not some product that you're throwing up on your page. And so it's really the conversation and connection is going to start between you and other people because of your story every single time, I guarantee you. A personal brand is unique to you, and it's how you're going to stand out amongst other things that we see out there, right? There's so much noise on social media. And just remember, you don't have to build your business on social media. I choose to, and so many of us do choose to, because I want a mobile business that I can travel anywhere with, that comes with me. And I also know I can connect to a much higher number of people this way. But it's how people feel when they connect and engage with me that's most important. So I think it's also really important to remember that we're competing against ourselves. It's wonderful to look at other people's social media for inspiration, but I want you to just remember this is not a competition. It's trying to get better than you were the day before, the month before, the year before, and working on your goals based on that, not on somebody else's goals. So I think there's a lot of unfortunate comparison that goes on. And I want you to just look at it as inspiration from other people, not comparing, because those are 2 different things. So I want to suggest kind of asking yourself and really working to hone in your brand. So these are some things that I would suggest writing down to really sit with and develop deeper as you kind of dig into, what is it that I want to be known for? So things that will guide you to this answer. One is, what do people ask you questions about? So for me, I get a lot of single mom parenting type questions. I get a lot of questions about therapy and mental health stuff, just as a former therapist, and it's something that I talk about. Parenting questions in general, not just single mom stuff, but people needing advice or saying like, oh, I saw you did this, wanted to ask about that. Recently, people have seen me getting into skating again. I used to do roller derby, and during quarantine, I decided I was going to get a new pair of skates and really start skating again for fun. So people ask, where did you get your skates? How did you learn? Can you teach me? So, the questions that people come to me with, that's where I need to focus on strengthening my brand, because those are things that people know me for. So I want you guys to think about what people ask you about, because that's probably part of your brand that you didn't even realize. So definitely think on that. The second thing, I know my pink skates are in the background. I promise that wasn't on purpose. The second thing is, what do people thank you for? Do they thank you for bringing hope? Do they thank you for being encouraging? Do they thank you for that quote that you posted, or maybe a verse that you posted that you shared? That might be part of your brand too. Another question would be, I think when it comes to content, what are the 5 things that in the world that people should know about you? Like, what are the 5 things that you're known for? So for me, I'm a business owner. I'm a single mom of 2 kids. I want people to know that I'm a health coach. I want people to know that I'm an advocate for mental health and healing from trauma. And kind of on a more fun, light note, like some people are into whatever, makeup and stuff. I'm really into like home decor and plants and stuff. And so those are things over time that I've sort of noticed how people respond positively to. And that allows me to connect with other people. So what sets you apart? We got to take time to think about this. You know, how can your brand set you apart from other people? Lots of people, and I don't mean within Optavia, but just small businesses on Facebook, lots of people are just copying and pasting from someone else, but people can feel that. Even if they don't know exactly what's off, something feels off. And so branding does take time to master, and it will feel more and more comfortable when you figure out what it is that sets you apart. It's going to get a lot more simple. So practical applications for this, you know, I will go over action steps at the end, but part of your action steps today is going to be asking your mentor to do like a profile review for you. And when I say this, I mean it. If you're going to ask, be prepared for an honest, real review. You know, part of learning and growing is being able to kind of give and receive feedback. So a lot of times in coaching, we need to put our ego aside and be ready for some honest thoughts. So as a mentor, when I look, my team definitely comes to me all the time. We talk about this a lot. Oh, can you look at my stories, or can you look at my page and tell me what I need to, you know, if I need to do anything different. So the things that I'm looking for, I don't want to see any copy and pasted post. I want to see someone sharing mostly about themselves than other people. I want to see a nice, clean, crisp profile picture. Not a picture of your dog, not a picture of you. We love our kid. It can be a family photo, but it's just better when it's just a picture of you. It doesn't have to be professional. I'm pretty sure mine is usually just on my iPhone, but a nice clear picture of yourself. Same goes for the cover picture, making sure whether it's an inspirational quote or a pretty picture, whatever it is, be intentional about the way that that looks. I'm also looking at their bio and seeing if there's any, like, are they identifying who they are as a human? And then I'll look at the recent posts. You know, is there a good mix of health related posts mixed in with personal posts? Do I see that this person's storefront is open? Is it really clear what it is exactly they offer? And if that isn't clear, then that stuff, it's easy to change, but I think sometimes it's not as easy to ask for help. And so we need to get better at just being open to asking so that we can get better. Yeah, so I hope that helped in demystifying sort of when we, oh, what's your brand or what? It's not anything that most of you aren't already doing. It's just, we just need to turn the volume up a bit and get really clear on what your 5 is. So that's my part on branding. And now Michelle's going to kind of move into what to post, as well as delving more into like, why do we even do this stuff? So the why before the how. Michelle.
Thanks, Emily. Good morning, you guys. Okay, we are in my favorite thing to talk about, social media, right? And the reason why is because if you do it right, you can create such incredible impact. And the majority of our business nowadays comes from connecting with people on social media. So if we do it right, I mean, imagine the impact that you can really have. So welcome to creating content, right? And branding yourself, where we're about to figure out who the heck you are and how you want to be viewed on social media. So really welcome to coaching, right? Where we're going to show people who we are and what we're passionate about. Sometimes we make it too tough, right? Sometimes we overthink it, so then we don't do it. So instead of overthinking it, I'm going to give you guys some tips on how we can take what Emily said and really brand yourself well and show people who you are, but then put content behind your social media platform to show people what you're also passionate about. So 2 tips I'm going to give you guys. Number 1 is plan ahead. Okay, planning ahead of knowing what you're going to post goes such a long way, because sometimes we get too busy, right? But if we plan ahead and we know and we have something that we're going to follow, we know we're just going to keep going. Number 2 is create a schedule. I will tell you, this goes such a long way. without a doubt. If you know what you're going to post and when you're going to post it, you're going to see that you're not going to skip a day, that it's going to be a lot easier on you and on your schedule to be able to post, but to also be planned and prepared so that you're not just posting gibberish, right? Sometimes we just think, okay, we look at the number and the quantity, but we don't look at the quality. And that's what we're going to start to shift over to, where do not worry about the number of posts that you're doing. Make sure that you're focusing on the quality of the posts that you're bringing out, right? That we are encouraging people, that we are loving on people, that we are inspiring people. So let's look into the top 3 things that we want people who come into our page to feel as they leave our page, right? We want to inspire people to want to visit our page daily, to know that they can find inspiration there, that they leave better than they did when they first got there. So we're going to talk about inspirational. Y'all heard this before. We're going to talk about inspirational. We're going to talk about educational. We're going to talk about entertainment. So let's start with the inspirational part. And what does that look like? So we want people to have a sense of who we are, right? And that's where inspiration comes from when we're sharing that. Our top 5, what Emily shared, right? What do you want to be known for? You know, maybe quotes that are inspiring to people, before and afters, the trilogy. There's so many things that you can place into the bucket of inspiration. So I'm going to encourage you guys to write down inspiration. If you got a pen and paper, if you don't, get one out, but inspiration, write down, these are the things that are going to inspire people, you know, showing people who we are, right? The top 5. Also, maybe inspirational quotes, you know, things that are going to get people lifted up higher every single day. Before and afters, the trilogy. Okay. Now let's talk about what the trilogy means, because this is showing people that we are way more than before and afters. Too many times we get sucked into just sharing before and afters, and that's it. And last time I checked, we are not a weight loss company. We are not a weight loss program. So why is that all that we share? And it comes with a comfort level, I'm sure, where maybe we just don't know how to share that piece. So we're going to get comfortable today with sharing, or knowing how to share all aspects of the trilogy, because you guys, let's not go be like another program. There are so many weight loss programs out there. We do not want to show up like one of them. We want to show up like we bring more, right? That we have so much more than just that part. So let's start to really get comfortable sharing all aspects of this program that truly make us different. Do you share healthy mindset? Do you share healthy finances? Do you share the blessings outside of the healthy body? You guys, be an inspiration to people who need this part of our program, and do not hold back with that Optavia offers. Too many times I look on coaches' profiles, and, you know, as we're mentoring them in the back, and I'm like, man, like it is literally like health through up in here, right? And I'm not just talking about the good health and overall health. I'm talking about just before and afters, right? People see that, people see through that, people see that everywhere. So we want to show up that we are so much different than that, because sometimes we really do get stuck in a place of maybe not knowing how to share the gift that coaching offers. So let me share with you how. Let me show you how. Start with sharing your story. Right? Your story is either evolved or it's going to evolve, and it will evolve, and it's going to continue to evolve. Your story is always evolving. What my story was almost 5 years ago is a completely different story than what it was today. And it's probably changed like a dozen times in between. But really start with sharing how healthy or getting healthy has really led you to the love of helping others, and what impact that's allowed you to create. Because people know that you ain't doing it for free, guys. Let's kind of squash that I don't want people to think that I'm making money out of this. You guys, people already know that, right? People already know that you're making money out of this, but let's be real. Doctors are out there helping others. They're getting paid. Firemen are out there helping others. They're getting paid. The difference is that they are not reaching out there, and they're not teaching people how to do that. And we are. That is how we're not the same, right? We all love to help people, but they can't go help or teach people how to do that. We can't. And that's why we are so different. And that is what creating impact is about. So let's be real on the blessing that it's given us. It's okay to share that it's giving you financial blessing. People dig that. People need that. More people in this world, you guys hear this. If you don't hear anything, is more people in this world need healthier finances than they need healthier bodies. That is the truth. And that is what we're going to start to share with people, because that is what people really need. So go be an inspiration on every single level. Show people what's possible, not just in their healthy body, but share it all. Man, you know what? Healthy body. Obviously, I started Optavia to become healthier, right? I wanted a healthier body. With that came healthier mind, right? I dived into my life book. Well, actually not then, more now, obviously, since it came out, and it was so different then. But it's just like, and then it's completely blessed my life on a financial aspect. People want that. You know, people come, well, as I'm talking to people, they'll be like, I want your life. And why is that? Because I share all the blessings that Optavia has offered, more financial than health. So really be an inspiration to people on all areas, right? And the reason that, and it's not about the how, right? The why is because people need that. So go be an inspiration, okay? So let's talk about education. Let's go educate people, right? Let's show people that they don't necessarily need our program to get value from us, okay? Because guess what? If you give them free value now, when they are ready to do this program, they're going to see you as a professional, and they're going to want you to come help them because you've given them all this free value, right? You've shared with them over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of months, over the last year, and people want that value. So when it's their time, because it will be their time, and we all know that, they're going to come to you because of the inspiration that you've given to them and the value that you've provided them over that time. So let's talk about health tips, right? Check. People love that. This is your chance to show them that we're more about food. So what type of health tips can we share? There are so many we can share, right? So let's talk about the micro habits, right? Let's talk about what we do on a daily, how I drink my water. I will post a selfie with water and share with people the importance of that, how we eat every couple hours, how portion control, really plays into everything. So share with them those healthy tips, right? They want that. Share how the importance of each habit and how we implement that, right? Water again, eating every few hours, portion control, share it all. People love free tips. You guys, this right here is full of gold. You guys can share so much from what's in here. So much gold value in here. Start to share what you're reading, right? What are you implementing that you're learning from here into your life? Share that we are more than healthy body, right? That people are going to get the education and they're going to get their mindset worked on. So start sharing whatever you're reading. Share something. I mean, I was in my life book last night and I read something. I'm like, man, that's good. Screenshot. Post it in a story. Boom, you guys, it is so simple. And you obviously post this into stories as well onto your page. Like people need this more than anything. And we all know that. So really start to share health tips. Start to educate people on healthy meals. You guys, people love recipes. I'll tell you this. I get more interaction with healthy recipes than I do with anything else. And it's not me giving just here's the recipe, guys, enjoy it. No, I'm asking people, hey, who wants a recipe, right? I'll tell you this, I can't even tell you, I think my last recipe, I had 225 comments. I kid you not. People asking for the recipe. Well, this is my time to not just give them the recipe. That's too easy. This is my time to go connect with them. This is my time to go send them a message with the recipe and then start connecting with them, right? Start those interactions with them. Start that relationship with them. Send them the recipe. Oh, hey, are you eating healthy? Oh, I love that. This is such an awesome recipe. I love it. Your family will love it. And then maybe check back in a couple of days. Hey, do you have a chance to check it out? Start that relationship with healthy tips, you guys, healthy recipes. They go a long way. So lastly, people like to be entertained. They want to be entertained with your life. So let's have some fun. The last thing that I ever liked or I ever see really, or like to see, I would say on coaches' pages is a coach just throwing up health all over, sharing all of these how you people hit share on everything, sharing stuff that does not make sense, that does not matter, right? Things that aren't going to bring value to people. That is what I start to see. And I want you to understand that people want to see you, who you are. People want to see what you represent, your hobbies, your desires, your dreams, your kids, your dogs. I mean, people want to see you. So let's stop hiding who we are. Let's stop hiding a picture of us, right? People want more than health. They want real, they want raw, they want authentic, they want a real person. And that's who we want to show up as, right? Is that, hey, I'm who I am. I'm Michelle. I'm a mom. I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. But you know what? I also have a passion to help others. And I'm also going to help others. And that's what I do. right? So people want to see that you're a real person who has a real life, yet you're passionate about helping others. So are you showcasing that? Do people know what you look like? I've gone on coaches' pages and just scroll, and I'm like, who are they? I haven't seen a picture of them. Who are they? Right? I don't know what they look like. So how am I going to go to an event and know what they look like or say hi? And if I don't even know what they look like, right? So show people who you are, show people what you look like, because people want to see that you're a real person. So are you guys showcasing all of this? Again, people want to see you guys. It's how we're going to connect with others on a deeper level, on an authentic level. It's how we connect with people. So next time you go to create content, ask yourself, are you inspiring people? Are you educating people, or are you entertaining people? Because that is what you want to create your schedule to look like on an everyday basis. Remember, it's not about the quantity of what you're posting. It is the quality behind it. So if you have a power post and it's getting a lot of interaction, don't post again because of the number. Keep that going. Right? Keep that content going, you guys, because that is what's going to bring value. Not like, oh, I'm just going to post this because I need the number. That's not going to get anything, right? So keep that going. So my final 2 tips to you guys is, number 1, create that calendar. Know what you're going to post on what day. In the words, I believe what's his name? I think it was Benjamin Franklin. I think it was him. But if you are failing to plan, you're planning to fail, right? So prepare. Have a calendar of content. Have the rocks in your calendar to do it. Because if it's not in your calendar, it's probably not going to happen. So set that time, those rocks in your calendar, bring structure into your life, allow structure into your life, love unstructured, because it's how it's going to really help you in the long run. And then number 2, you guys, when it comes to posting, is be consistent. Stay consistent. People see that if you're consistent or if you are consistent. So stay consistent in all that you do. People are watching. Do not let them down. The ones that need us the most are hoping we stay consistent throughout the entire thing, because they're waiting for you to be consistent to show that this is the real deal. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. Emily, I'm gonna bring it back to you.
She's quoting Ben Franklin, guys. I love it. So we did something kind of cool, and we asked people yesterday, like, if you could get advice on social media, what are some things that you would like advice on? And the common theme with almost every single question was people wanting to know, how do I stay genuine? How do I stay authentic with myself on social media, especially when it comes to relationships? So Michelle and I are kind of going to go back and forth addressing this stuff. One of the questions was, how do I continue a relationship with someone who isn't ready to become a client yet? And I feel like this goes back to Justin, what he talked about yesterday, which was how we overcomplicate things just all the time. So my advice is, you would act the same way, I hope, with them on social media as you would in real life. I think what we need to do, guys, is if we removed the idea of social media out of the equation, I don't think half of these questions would come up as much as they do. No one would say, hey, if I run into someone at the grocery store, like, what do I do? You'd say, what's up? You'd continue just being a normal person. The same thing applies to social media. I get that it's different, but if we start viewing it as no big deal, same as running into someone in person, I feel like a lot of the fear and anxiety around everything we do on social media would dissipate. How would we show up with someone? Let's say there was no social media or texting and we actually had to pick up the phone, right? If I had just done a call with a friend a week ago, am I going to call them every Friday and say, hey, are you ready to start my program because someone told me it was follow-up Friday? No. Am I going to follow up regarding program from time to time? For sure. But not every time. I'm going to keep being a normal human. How are you? What's up? What's new in your life? Oh my gosh. And at least with social media, we can at least go to their page and see what's up with them and have something to start a conversation about. I find that to be really helpful. And so how do you continue the relationship? You just keep being a decent human, as you would. You keep being a friend. You keep being who you are and just being normal. So I say this in jest, but only to hopefully drive the point home that we overcomplicate things. Another question was how to connect from a post. I love, love, love connecting from posts. So of course, we're going to respond to comments first. And I want you guys to be yourself. I want you to mix it up. I don't want you to copy and paste robotically. I don't want you to just say thanks, thanks, thanks to everyone that says something. And sometimes it helps not to actually respond to an entire thread at one time. So if I get a post that has a lot of comments, I'll respond to a few at a time and just keep coming back throughout the day, because that's what's going to get more eyes on the post and keep it in the feed. Why? Because guess what? Social media really likes it when you're social. So if I just take 2 seconds to go, thanks, sounds good, okay, like really robotic, but I'm trying to knock out, responding to these 85 comments. Social media is kind of like, whoa, girl. They like it a lot more when it's like responding to 5. And to be quite honest, responding to 5 at a time keeps me authentic. I do tend to get robotic if I'm trying to respond to 58 comments at one time. I am going to start sounding like I'm copying and pasting. But if I pace myself, I'm going to sound like Emily, like the person that they know. They're not going to be like, weird, Emily doesn't talk like that in real life. So I just, again, encourage you to get back to self. How would you respond in real life? What would you say? And don't feel like you need to respond to a thread of 100 comments at one time. Another common question, how do I, use all of these comments to, my posts are getting a lot of comments. How do I spur conversations from this? So when it comes to health related posts, this is actually really simple. It's very easy to thank someone for liking my before and after or whatever health related thing. And I always, it's sort of the same. I'll say, thank you so much for your support on my whatever health related post. I'm just trying to help as many people as I can. If anyone ever comes to mind who might be able to utilize my help, would you pass me on to them? And that's an easy one. That's the same sort of talk I'm having with everyone on a health related post. But I think people get stuck with how to start combos on posts that are not health related. Everyone just freezes up and like is a deer in headlights. So my advice is to do that and respond to the people that you feel compelled to once you see who is liking and commenting. If it feels weird or unnatural currently, then maybe you're making it weird and unnatural currently. So I would reach out to people intentionally, or a lot of times I just feel specifically called to reach out to certain people. I don't believe in coincidences when I see someone, who's maybe been on my mind suddenly pop up in a comment the next day. I take that as a huge sign. I'm going to message them. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say, oh my gosh, you've been on my mind. And then here you are popping up. How are you? So I think people get in their heads because they imagine robotically starting conversations about benign things. So they think I got to make a list of everyone who liked and commented. And gosh, it's not health related. So how weird is that? And I'll just message them. I get it. And to be honest, I used to do that because I thought that's what we were supposed to do. And because it felt uncomfortable, I would avoid it a lot. So there might be a lot of you like me who know what you're supposed to be doing, but it feels weird. And so you just don't do it at all. And so what I encourage those of you who might connect with what I'm saying is, once you're intentional with a list of who you want to reach out to, you're going to see them show up in your comments, as well as the people that, want to reach out to me. The magic will happen. And you don't have to feel like you need to message every single person. It's really, like Michelle was saying, quality over quantity, and just being real and authentic when you do reach out. I mean, look at their page. What's new with them? I like to look at stories. Stories are a big indicator for me. What have they been up to the past 24 hours? And that, when I respond to stories, I feel at my most authentic, because it's like a 5-second rule. I don't overthink what I'm saying. Where are you at? Oh my God, that looks fun. Cute outfit. Like, everything I'm saying is what I would say to someone normally if I saw them face to face. So starting combos off your post is wonderful, But man, starting combos off stories for me, that's just like, that feels really authentic to me and feels really good when I'm doing it. And just like Shara was talking about, what wolf are we going to feed? I like to feed the actions that I feel good doing, because when I feel good about something, I know that other person's going to feel good about it too, because the energy is aligned and it's right. So enough about that. Michelle's going to come on now and sort of talk about how to start convos and kind of continue on what I was talking about. Michelle.
Oh, I'm muted. All right. Okay. Yeah. So that was so good, Emily, as far as like making it really simple. It doesn't have to be like, we don't have to overcomplicate it, right? Like we overcomplicate everything else. But I did want to go over, really having to, how to use your list to start conversations, because you guys, a list is everything. And let me tell you, if you want to make it super simple, have a list of people that you want to connect with monthly. Every single month, we should have a new list, right? You hear it, a new hundreds list. Well, Facebook has made it pretty simple, right? We talk about always adding friends and growing our audience. But if we have an audience that we haven't connected with, before we add more friends, let's go connect with that audience, right? Let's go look at the people that are already on our friends list, that are already there. They've already probably been seeing a little bit about what we've been doing. So don't focus so much on adding friends if you're not going to connect with the ones that you already have. So before we go and add like 100 or 200 or 300 friends, let's connect with the people that we have. And so if you guys don't know about this, Google is genius and tells us everything, right? But you could actually download or learn how to download your Facebook friends list onto a spreadsheet, right? If you guys like spreadsheets, this is going to be great for you. So you just Google, how do I download my Facebook friends list? And it will show you how to do that. And let that be your new hundreds list or thousands list, right? And maybe I'm going to encourage you guys to set aside a number of people that you want to connect with every single week. So whether that number is 25, whether that number is 50, like whatever you have the time to do, and then let's go be intentional with those people. So the way that the algorithms are shifted, you guys, and I don't want you to focus on algorithms, just focus on connecting, because then the algorithms just naturally shift. But the way that you want to connect with people is not just connect with them once, right? Oh, I'm going to go like something, comment something, send a message, and then that's it, and hope they see my stuff. No, that's not how it works. You have to connect a few different times in order to actually see, or for Facebook to see the connection. So maybe you want to start with 25 friends. Okay, this is the people that I'm going to connect with every single week. Now, how are we going to go connect with them and just be authentic, right? We don't want to just go and be like, okay, let's talk about health, this. You guys, it's just about being interested in them. That's it. Just go be interested in their life, like you're interested in your friend's life, in your family's life, right? Go build a friendship with them, right? Go be interested in what they have going on in their life, right? Going on their page, just like Emily said, see what they're about. Maybe go on their stories and kind of view maybe the stories over the last 24 hours and kind of see what they've been up to. But go build a relationship with them and go connect with their page, right? Now, if you have people that you're going through this list and you're like, okay, this person hasn't posted in like 3 months, clearly let's maybe like get rid of them, in a sense of like, let's leave room for people that we can connect with. Because when you get to that 5,000 mark of, as far as the maxing out of friends, that happens really quickly. So we want to make sure that we're leaving room for those people that we can impact. And so having that list and just going to each individual person, let's start with 25. Okay, let's go and just be intentional with those people. That doesn't take a long time, right? We call it the LLCM. Many of you heard the LLCM, right? Like, comment, message, meaning go be interested in their profile. Go like something they've recently posted. Go like a comment or a picture they recently posted. Go comment on something and just go send them a message. It doesn't have to be awkward. If we go with an agenda, you guys, it's going to seem awkward, right? It's going to seem weird. It's going to make you feel weird going into it. But if you actually go and just say, let's see how many, make it a game. How many people can I connect with? What level can I connect with them on, right? Build that relationship. Be intentional with your time. Again, time block, right? Again, rock in your calendar for intentional time. So have a rock in your calendar every single day for 15 minutes, because it does not take that long time, right? 15 minutes to go be intentional with the people that you want to connect with. Go on their page, right? Work off of your list. Start with 25 a week, right? Maybe you'll connect with them 2 or 3 times during that week, and then don't dispose the list, right? Then maybe we're going to work on the next 25 people, right? And then we're going to go and be intentional with their page. And then maybe the following we go back to the first 25 people. And so now you're really starting to shift an algorithm to where this is what you're going to see. The way that I know when people have been intentional, because as we know, you guys, I mean, social media is about being social. So the way that you can see if how many people can see your stuff is go take how many friends that you have. And if you are only at like 1% of people that are interacting with how many friends you have, that means you're not being intentional, or that means you're not being social enough. Okay. Because what you want to see is, say if you have 2,000 friends, you want at least starting off 10% of those people that are seeing what you're doing, right? And we're slowly going to grow those numbers. But the way that you see that is how much interaction you're getting on your post. Are you getting 10% of people, close to that, liking what you're posting? Do you even get any percent, right? If someone has 2,000 friends and they're only getting 2 or 3 likes on a post, or maybe 10 likes, that shows that where you need to work on is being more intentional with people and being more engaging with people and being more social with people. That's how you start to switch. So I'll tell you, work off of a list, you guys. It is so important to do so. As you've heard over and over, don't post and ghost, right? Sometimes we start to think too much when it comes to connecting with people, as if like we need that agenda. And you guys, we don't. Don't overthink it, right? When it comes to commenting on posts or messaging people, don't have an agenda. Just connect with them as you're going to connect with a friend, or you're going to connect with a family. Just have fun with it. Be interested in their life, because when you take any agenda out of a connection, it allows you to connect with them authentically, and you're going to start to see your business even soar even more. So Emily, back to you.
Thanks, Michelle. Back to Emily in the studio. It's so funny. Michelle and I usually are right on time, and I think we might be like 5 minutes over. So just bear with us, because we just have a couple more things to cover. And so the next one was the importance of building trust and, true relationships, not just like, I think some of us don't see social media as like true and real. It's a real person on the other side of the screen. You are building an authentic relationship, but I want you guys to find the balance. A lot of people get lost in the relationship building, and they become very shy about bringing it back to health. And I'll talk to coaches who are like, yeah, this girl's great. I've been talking to her for like 2 months. I think she'd be a great coach. And I'm like, cool. Have you mentioned it? Well, no, not yet. It's been 2 months. Like, you've been talking to this person for 2 months. So much time is being poured into the relationship that it's almost like we're getting cold feet about even talking about anything to do with health. So I think all that is some of us are fearful of losing our authenticity. And so because we are being intentional about, I'm on social media right now to start conversations, or I'm on social media right now to like, comment. I think sometimes in our mind, we're like, that makes it less authentic. That's just how we have to be on social media to get social media to work for us. But the bottom line is that social media is not any different than an in-person gathering. And I promise, if you are coming from a good place, people can feel that at the end of the day. And I always say this, it's about energy. And do I prefer person-to-person energy? I do. Honestly, I do. But you can still have an exchange of energy with someone over the computer screen, I promise. And it's just about what you're willing to bring to the table. And if you have good intentions, and if you genuinely want to know about somebody else's life, and you're not just doing it to check a box, I started a conversation today, but if your heart is in it, they feel it. So don't feel weird or guilty for bringing up program when it's a solution for the things that you're talking about. And also remember, we are not a weight loss company, right? Too many of us still live in this headspace of, I work for a weight loss company. But meanwhile, these people are telling you, I miss my kids. I never get to see them. I hate my boss. Oh my God, my commute. And you just sit there. You have the answer and the solution. And you sit there and let your fear get in the way of possibly changing this person's life in the same way that your life has been changed. So why are we being weird about this? We need to listen for these things, and not just listen for them, but respond to them in the same way that we would when someone expresses struggling health-wise. So that is my advice for building true relationships online. Michelle.
Yay, I love it. Well, I hope that, some of this is really resonating with you guys, because it really is about connecting authentically with people. And I know sometimes we really tend to overthink what that looks like. And it doesn't have to be complicated, right? Just set the time in your calendar to do it, right? I think that is probably where the most, well, why we don't do it, right, is because we don't have the time to do it, or we don't find the time to do it. So it really is, as we keep telling you guys the how, or do this or do this, but you guys, the why is really simple, right? I want you to think back when you started the program, or when you reached out to your coach. Were you not inspired by what they were saying? Did you feel sold when they were just connecting authentically with you? No. And so take how you approach this program, or how you came to it, and now go give that away, and go just connect with people, and go love on people, and don't limit yourself to what's possible with this. Because I will tell you this, social media will never stop working for you. If you think that, I'm gonna tell you you're wrong, because it's you that stops working social media to its fullest potential. So if you're in a place where maybe you have some cleaning up to do, or maybe you don't know exactly 100% maybe what is going on with your social media, that's when you connect with your mentor and you say, hey, can you take a look at my page, and can you see what things I need to shift? Because the first thing that I do when I go to coaches' pages is I want to know, again, am I inspired? Are you educating me? Are you entertaining me? All of those things. But also, it's all about the connection that you're making with people, because you can have the most beautiful Facebook, right? And I've said this before, but you can have the most crappy business. If you're not connecting with people and making it simple, right? Using the people, if you stop engaging with people, they're going to stop engaging with you. So are you continuously engaging with people from what you're posting, from your comments, from the messages that people are sending, from the messages that they're sending on stories? Are you continuously doing that? Because if you're not, they're going to stop eventually doing it. Okay. People want to have that connection back. They're making the effort to engage with you. Don't make it weird. Engage back with them, right? Don't just keep that conversation going. So I know we're going to shift next to kind of how to expand your network. I swear you guys only got a few minutes left. So hang on tight. So Emily, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Yay. Okay. So quickly, when we think about how to expand our network, two of my favorite things is I kind of adopted this attitude of I'm going to collect Facebook friends everywhere I go. Of course, on a business trip is always a fun way to do that. Every Uber driver, the person sitting next to me on the plane, like it's easy to do that when you're on a trip. But even things like the grocery line, like if the line is long, like I'm notorious for chatting with the person next to me. And then the next thing you know, oh, are you on Facebook? That way I don't have to feel pressured to be like, this is what I do. Would you like to connect? No, like I like to just connect as a human. And so I'll straight up tell them like, you're really awesome. I hope this isn't weird, but I would really love to connect on Facebook if you're there. And in line at Disneyland, I've met so many friends in line when Disneyland was open and I used to have an annual pass. So just always be looking for opportunities in your day to collect a Facebook friend. Now that schools are back, I can actually like talk to other parents and connect with them. So think about ways throughout your day that you can collect new friends. And then of course, my favorite thing is I don't like to friend randoms. I used to, and it wasn't super successful. And if anything, I just got really weird messages about wanting to, they wanted checks for $1 million. No big deal. So what I started doing is only friending people that I had a connection with in some way, either a mutual friend, or my favorite personally is friending people in Facebook groups where we have a common interest. So, when I first started, it was baby wearing. That's where I met Kelly Floyd. We were both in a baby wearing group. Michelle, anything that you have, whether it's dogs, whether it's like I'm in a lot of financial, budgeting groups, like whatever it is, first you create a presence for yourself in that group so people kind of know who you are and see you as an active poster. And then friend people and they'll go, oh, we're both in that one group. That's probably why she friended me. And so that's very successful for me. I just love already having a commonality with someone before I friend them. So it's not just like, hey, rando, how you doing? So that, you're already kind of in warm waters when you have something in common. So we are going to move straight into action steps right now. Let me share my screen. Of course, as always, this will be posted in our Unstoppable group. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of today. And so our action steps for day 3, social media. Number 1, I want you to write down your 5. Look at your page. Think about your likes and interests. Maybe you're like, oh my God, I'm super into, this is going to be dope, chess or embroidery, and I've never posted it on social media. That's one of your 5. That's dope. So figure out what your 5 are. I want you guys to create a posting schedule. It doesn't have to be crazy or fancy. You can print off a blank calendar. You can use a planner you're already using, and just, it can be weekly, it can be monthly. It doesn't have to be exact. It can just be like the topic. It doesn't have to be the full post. Asking yourself by looking, do a self-review. Are you inspiring, educating? Oh, yeah, I messed up. Are you inspiring, educating, and educating? So take a look and do a little self-review. Social media review time, give yourself honest feedback. Like, what's going on my page? Is it exactly what I want to be putting out into the world? And asking your mentor to look. And like I said, just leave your ego at the door and be ready for real feedback if that's what you want. And then setting rocks so that you're posting with intention, which kind of goes hand in hand with the calendar, but definitely posting with intention. So I hope that was really helpful, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks guys for being on. Bye.